farcical, so unpredictable, here on the SNL Network.
Yes, welcome on in, everybody, to the SNL Network for a very special show here. My name is John Schneider, and I am so excited to bring you today a very special conversation with Chris Redd, current cast member at Saturday Night Live. We are so happy to have Chris join us to talk about his season 47. We're going to talk about some of the biggest moments of the season with him and talk about the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, where he is performing this weekend, Saturday, June 25th, at Prince's Island Park in Calgary with fellow cast members Alex Moffat, Melissa Villaseñor, and James Austin Johnson. And I'm very excited to participate in this conversation with our Western Canada representative, a longtime listener of the SNL Network podcast. It is Dave Standish. Dave, how are you?
I am excellent, John. I'm glad to finally be able to contribute after being a fan for so long back in the SNL Stats days. I love everything that you guys are doing, and the timing just couldn't have worked out better for these 4 SNL members to be performing this outdoor comedy festival in my hometown in just a couple of days.
Yeah, Dave, I'm so thrilled to speak to Chris Redd. It's going to be a lot of fun to have this conversation today. What made you so interested in going to see Chris Redd at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival?
Well, honestly, I was always a big SNL person, and I'd always be out on Saturday nights and then have it recorded on my VCR when I got home. But during the pandemic, like a lot of friends of mine, they became obsessed with different things. And I was just like, you know what? SNL has become my new obsession, especially during the quarantine, just old episodes on YouTube and old classic sketches and all the different podcasts that were doing it, including you guys. And just the fact that you were doing 2 or 3 days a week of content because the fan base was so super fans, so many super fans, so many great content providers that you have on the network. I just like, you know what? I want to be involved. I want to help you guys. And then when I happened to hear that these 4 SNL members were coming to current SNL members were coming to my hometown, I just couldn't help it but want to be involved. Like I'm a journalist as well, and it's just a great opportunity to get to know these super fans, these co-hosts that you have, the patrons as well, who are also very dedicated, and to meet these people that I watch every Saturday night. It's going to be a great pleasure on Saturday, and I appreciate the opportunity for the connection so that we can get some stuff for you today and maybe on Saturday as well.
For sure. Dave, I'm thrilled to have you as part of our community and part of this conversation we're about to have today. So why don't you let the listeners know, because, you know, Chris Redd is going on tour this summer, and we want all of our listeners to know where they can go see him this summer. So Dave, I know you have those dates in front of you. Why don't you read them out for our listeners?
Certainly. EDX Helium, Portland, July 5th and 6th. Vancouver, July 8th and 9th. Honolulu, July 13th and 14th. Just for Laughs, July 29th. And Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, August 5th and 6th to see Chris Redd live.
Very exciting stuff. I am excited to hear from Chris what you can expect when you go to see his shows. So we're going to make sure to ask him that in our conversation, and of course talk about all the best moments from this season at Saturday Night Live. So come on in and join us for our conversation with Chris Redd coming up right now. Yes, we are here with Chris Redd, current cast member at Saturday Night Live, who just wrapped up his 5th season at the show. And what a great season it was. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, man. Glad to be off work for a little while.
Yeah, for sure. So I know, like, just a crazy season. I mean, you guys are back, and you know, things are finally starting to feel a little bit more normal. I know there were some hiccups along the way, but you know, especially in that Christmas episode. But how was your season 47 overall? Because I know that our fan community absolutely loved what they got to see from you in season 47.
It was cool, man. Everything I've been trying to do, I actually got to do this season. I think it was cool because I finally found a political impression I can have fun with. I mean, Cory Booker's cool now, but Eric Adams was really something that I could dig my teeth into. I don't know if that's the same. Sink my teeth into, though. You know, and I got to, you know, and I took a break from doing so many music videos. I got a couple in, but I was really trying to do more political stuff, do more live sketches, just constantly trying to hone my skills in different areas. So I feel like this season I got to do a lot of that. So that was cool.
What do you think made the difference for you this year, in order to get all that stuff on? Was it just being in your 5th season and the show potentially trusting you more with some of that stuff?
Maybe that, maybe a little bit of that. I think a lot of it was also comfortability. You know what I mean? I wasn't really questioning myself as much. It's like, as far as impressions or whatever I would be in my head about in the previous years. It was a year where I knew the show, and I've always known who I was comedically, but I just knew the show really well and I was really comfortable. So I was cool with trying stuff. And I think that really helped. And I think, being one of the senior cast members can't hurt you, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely felt like, and we all did, that you went from being, another person, another young talent as a part of the cast to being one of the stars of the show this season. So impressed with your season 47. You brought up Eric Adams, Chris, which I think was part of your best episode this season, probably. We do statistics here at the SNL Network a lot for stuff. I don't know if you come across them online, but.
I watch them all the time, man. It's very interesting. Y'all are very detailed in your work, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so we calculated that you got over 12 minutes of screen time in the Ariana DeBose episode, which was like a incredible amount. And you did that. You did Eric Adams. You did Urkel in that episode. So really, Urkel. So what was that episode like when you finally did get this Eric Adams impression on?
Oh man, that was the most I had worked in one episode ever on the show, and it was wild. And we also had a music video that got cut from that episode. So I was like busy. It's one of my busiest weeks for sure. And it was like one of those, sometimes you go to the table read and you're like hoping one thing works. And I just was fortunate to be having a lot of fun. And with that writing sessions with all my people, and I had like mad sketches on the table that were like, that all worked at the table. It's like something I had never really seen me do. You know what I mean? Like I've done well at the table, but like to have like most of all your things work at the table at one time, and it comes down to like picking a bunch of stuff, was kind of never my issue until this season. So it was cool to like have those good problems, I guess, And I love Ariana DeBose. I think she's dope as hell. She was just such a good sport about just being down for whatever. And I think that also helped having hosts that excited me and were down to play,
Well, speaking of that, Chris, we can't help but talk about the Will Smith sketch with Gerard Carmichael. We'll see that here on tomorrow night on the replay on NBC. But I got a chance to watch it again yesterday. And obviously, with all the late night talk shows having Monday through Friday to get ready, what did you guys have to do when you had 6 days to get it ready? Because I think the fans expected you guys to go big with it, but not copy what every other show was doing for those 5 days. And I think you guys found a good balance, and you and Gerard worked very well in that sketch.
Yeah. Oh, I love Gerard. Shout out to Gerard Carmichael. He's super dope. But that's the job, right? You're race. It's a race against time to do a joke that you haven't heard yet. And that's always usually the case. Anytime there's a story with the Will Smith thing, him being the biggest actor in the entire world, it was even more pressure to like have a take that was fresh and that we hoped no one else would touch by Saturday, because it was Wednesday when we did it. So Mike D and the PDD boys had a great take on it, man. I kept saying all week it was the last good take there was left of that altercation. There was like no other take that we could have done that hadn't already been talked about. So it was mad fun, and I thought in that and the jokes were so solid, and I was glad because my Will Smith is mediocre, but I had a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by like I'm having fun with like your impressions. I didn't come into this job an impressionist. I was a character actor in a stand-up, but like I've learned to love impressions, and so if it's somebody I can do really well, I'm always like doing them well. I want to do everything excellent, right? But then there's some that I can have fun with and just make sure the writing and the jokes hit, and I'm just having fun. You're seeing Chris's stab at whoever it is, and so I always look at the Will Smith impression as an impression that I had fun with because the writing was awesome. But I'm not like, you can't close your eyes and hear him. Like, nah, I'm just playing. I just know how to play jokes well and play crazy. So I just made it work for me. You know what I mean? I think that that sketch was really cool, and the guys did a brilliant job with the writing on that shit, man.
Yeah, it was just awesome. And I think you hit on something really well, Chris, which was just that the listeners tell us all the time, they feel like you are having fun at the show. And that's what comes off the screen. And I think that's why you're connecting with so many listeners and so many watchers of Saturday Night Live. So really, really impressive. I would love to ask you, do you have a favorite host that you did work with in season 47? We saw so many one-time hosts this season that just came in. They're new to the show. Did you connect with anyone specifically?
Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Gerard were already cool coming in, so I think that's kind of a cheat to pick him. But there was a lot of dope hosts. I had a lot of fun with a lot of folks. I said I had fun with Kim, but I didn't have as much fun as other people did.
Oh yeah.
And that's a joke. And no, Kim was awesome though. Kim was dope. But Lizzo may have been one of my favorites hosts to come in there, bro. Her and Ariana. Ariana was super dope. I mean, we had Zoe too. We had a lot of dope hosts, man. But Lizzo was super fun. And I think Lizzo takes it because, you know, I came in there and I was like, yo, I got an idea where you play the flute and you twerk in a symphony orchestra. And she was down like immediately. And so I was like, yeah, you're my favorite person in the world. Anybody that's going to twerk for comedy, you got my heart, man, you know?
Yeah, that was awesome. So obviously one of the big storylines coming out of season 47 is we had these 4 legendary cast members decide to move on from the show. How are you feeling about the changes to the cast going into 48? And do you think that there should be new cast members added, or are you happy with the group you have now?
Well, first of all, definitely gonna miss those 4, man. Like they are worth a job to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know that show without them being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like me and Peter, we're all real friends. So we're going to talk, you know what I'm saying? And Pete was already not there half the week anyway. So I'm only going to miss him on Saturdays. But it's going to be interesting. It's like, it's a bittersweet moment because they're all going to be huge stars and continue to have their star rise. And I'm really happy for them. And it's all part of the growth of this thing. But it's going to be weird walking in and not seeing their faces, man. It just really is till they come back to host, you know. As far as the crew we have, we just gel so tight, man. I feel like we finally got a voice of the show, and it's going to be some changes and all of that. And I think new blood really invigorates everybody else. So that's always cool. I don't think we need too much more because it'd be nice to have some space for everybody to like kind of find their lanes and really have time on screen. But I mean, that's the nature of the beast of SNL is that there's always young new talent there, and so I'm sure we'll see new faces, and I'm excited to see what the changes are. I usually don't even think about SNL until we're closer to coming back, but y'all made me turn it on for a little bit, so now I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate it.
So Chris, no sketch ideas written in a little notebook in your pocket right now, or think about that in October?
All the time. While I don't think about SNL as far as like the logistical business part of it, because I'm doing my stand-up tour, I'm doing other stuff. I'm always writing down. I mean, when I did that Bottom of Your Face with Chris Rock, I wrote that in the summertime. So I usually write a lot of the things that I come into the next season with, like right after we're done, because usually right after we're done, I'm still writing for like a month because I'm like not ready to shut it off. And then I stop writing, and then I come back and I just look back at other stuff. So I got a few things that I'm excited to come back with that are evergreen and maybe pretty funny. And then the rest of it is just kind of just waiting to see what the world's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Like you just can't pre-write a lot of that. So you're gonna, I only pre-write evergreen things and like fun song premises that could be a jumping off point. But it's all about like what's happening around us before.
We're pumped to see it. So I'm excited to see what is going to happen with you in season 48. But, you know, we have so much more to talk about. I want to ask you so many SNL questions, but we will save that for another time, because tomorrow night you are performing at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival in Princess Island Park in Calgary with Alex Moffat, Melissa Villaseñor, and James Austin Johnson. So tickets are on sale now. If you do want to go see Chris Redd, you can find the links in the description, either of the audio podcast or on YouTube when the video goes up. So Chris, what can somebody expect when they go see Chris Redd perform at one of your shows?
I've been a stand-up for longer than I've been on SNL, and it will be something I do way after I'm gone. So you're coming to see me in my element, you know what I mean? So you'll see a lot more than 12 minutes. And I'm doing a tour now called Why Am I Like This? It's for my special that I'm shooting in August. So it'll be like a section of that, you know what I mean? I'll be throwing some ideas at the crowd, things I've been working on the road, and I might do a little bit of improv. I'm gonna be improvising in my special as well. So you'll see a slice of what it's like to come to a show and stand up, and then, you know, because it's gonna be so much SNL atmosphere, I may do a character too. But I really have a whole batch of new stuff that you probably haven't seen from me yet. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I do this. So I'm excited for people to come see me live, man. Always.
Yeah, and it's a great idea that it's an SNL themed event in Calgary on Saturday night. What can you tell me about the comedy styles of Moffat, Melissa, and JAJ, and being able to hang out with people outside of 30 Rock that are part of the cast? What can you say about those three castmates of yours?
So funny. Number one, I knew all of them on the circuit before SNL. So James Austin Johnson's another great stand-up, you know what I mean? So he's also a great impressionist. So his stand-up includes that, you know, in a very great way. Sometimes, you know, stand-ups to do impressions. Their stand-up's not as strong. That can't say the same thing for James Austin Johnson. He's a beast. So is Melissa, man. She's been a stand-up for a long time. She knows how to use her impressions and deliver a great set. And Alex is hilarious. He says he's not a stand-up, but he does stand up very well. And he's a showman. That's a one-man show kind of funny. So you're gonna get a lot of different styles of comedy, but it's all gonna be fun. And I can't wait to see my friends. I haven't seen them since we left the show, so it's gonna be just cool to like hang out with them. Shoot the shit a little bit, you know.
Of course, you guys are in Portland, Vancouver, Honolulu, and Salt Lake. That's part of your tour for the next few weeks. So a lot of action out here in the West Coast. You ever been to Western Canada before, or any Canadian dates besides perhaps just for laughs in the past?
Well, I've done Edmonton. I think that's the opposite side of Canada. I hate Edmonton with all my heart and soul. But
Good for you.
I've done Toronto a bunch of times. I love Toronto. It has my heart. Montreal a bunch of times. I'll do Montreal again this year. And I've been trying to do Vancouver for a very long time, but it keeps getting pushed for COVID or whatever reason. So I'm just really glad to finally step foot in there and do some shows there. And I've never been to Calgary. Heard it's beautiful, so I'm excited to go there, man. I like Canada, man. It turns out y'all are pretty decent people, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, Chris, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate getting some time with you today just to ask you a little bit about the season and promote your show tomorrow night. Really looking forward to hopefully chatting with you more in the future. So thanks for joining us today on the SNL Network.
Man, hey, thank you guys for having me. I'm a big fan of how y'all take those statistics and make them very sports-like, very tight. Continue to do all y'all hard work, man, and keeping us honest.
Of course, buddy. Keep dominating the statistics and we'll keep putting them out. So thanks, Chris.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much to Chris Redd for joining us today on the SNL Network. How awesome was that we got to hear from Chris Redd and hear all of his stories from season 47 and talk about his upcoming stand-up tour. If you get a chance to go see him in person, make sure to do that, especially tomorrow night, June 26th at Princess Island Park in Calgary for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. And he has many more tour dates that are available now. So make sure to buy tickets to those shows. And hopefully we will get a chance to talk to Chris Redd more down the road wrote about his time at Saturday Night Live and some of the sketches we want to know more about. I want to also thank Dave Standish for joining us today. It was really great to hear him for the first time on the podcast and helping us put together our conversation today with Chris. So thanks again, Dave. And if you haven't checked out some of the shows we've been doing lately at the SNL Network since the season ended, make sure to go back and do so, because we've had a lot of fun talking about the departed cast members that have left the show and looking back at their careers. We kicked things off with Kate McKinnon a couple weeks ago, and last week we talked about Pete Davidson. Coming up this week, we're going to be talking all about 80 Brian's career, and that will be live on Monday night on YouTube and up in the audio feeds on Tuesday for that one. So make sure to check out that show. And to never miss any of the shows we are doing, make sure to subscribe to the SNL Network on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, really wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram to catch up on everything we are doing and see all the statistics that we got to talk to Chris Redd about today. So that was really fun to get to hear that he is enjoying all those stats. All right. My name is John Schneider from the SNL Network. I hope you enjoyed this conversation today with Chris Redd. We will see you next time, everybody. Have a good one.